Good morning, everyone. The June 19th, 2019 meeting of the City Council is called to order. This meeting has been properly noticed and posted in compliance with the open meeting law. The proceedings are being video recorded as well as presented live on KCLV Cable Channel 2 on our closed caption for our hearing impaired viewers. Please note customers of CenturyLink and Cox Communications may view this program in high definition on Channel 1002 and in standard definition on Channel 2. You may also watch this program live on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, on the Go Vegas app. The City Council meeting, as well as all other KCLV programming, may be viewed on the internet at www.kclv.tv/live. The proceedings will be rebroadcast on KCLV Channel 2 Wednesday at 8 p.m., Friday at 4 a.m., Saturday at 7 p.m., Sunday at 7 a.m., and the following Monday at 5 p.m. This building is protected by state-of-the-art fire detection and suppression sprinkler systems. If alarms should activate during today's meeting, please evacuate using the exits at the back of these chambers, go out to the mezzanine, proceed out the double doors to the terrace, go down the back staircase. For anyone who has difficulty with stairs, please check with one of our marshals or fire officials for assistance. Once outside, assemble on the northeast corner across the street from City Hall at Lewis and First. Employees wearing safety vests or city marshals will inform you when it's safe to re-enter the building. For public comment related to items on the agenda, citizen participation, and public hearing items, we have available a speaker card which you may complete and submit to the city clerk. Cards are available online in the clerk's office or at the rear of these chambers. If you do not submit a card, it doesn't prevent you from speaking under public comment, citizen participation, or specified public hearing items. If anyone's present today who has need for hearing impaired equipment, please see our city clerk staff up front. Please note that if you parked in the parking garage across the street, we have a new flash parking self-validation machine, which is located in the foyer between the City Council chambers and the security desk you walk through to enter the chambers. You must have your ticket with you to use the machine, but if you did not bring your ticket, see security personnel when exiting for a validation coupon. Before we proceed with the agenda, would everyone please rise for the invocation given this morning by Bishop James M. Rogers, Raider, New Jerusalem Baptist Church, and remain standing for our Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. The God of our silent tears, again, we want to ask for your divine intervention. Today we thank you again for this mayor and for this city council. We're asking for divine wisdom from you like no other. We thank you for what they've done for us in the past and what they have purposed to do for us in the coming weeks, months, days, and years. We want to take this opportunity to certainly thank you for our Mayor Pro Tem, Louis Tartanian, and our Councilman Bob Coffin, whose terms have now come to a closure on this particular occasion, but we pray that their life after the council will be one that will continue to serve this community and also their fellow man. We thank you for the love you've shown us through them, and we thank you now for what you're about to do. We should now declare that. We are going to continue to decree it. We believe that our prayers are always heard because we always pray our prayers in the name of Jesus. Amen. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The comma?
There should be, but I don't see any. Yes. We are now going to come with you for the ceremonials. Thank you, Bishop. We know how these two are loved, just looking at all of you that have been here and part of this community for so long. I see our former city manager, Betsy Fretwell. I mean, I see, how do we acknowledge all of you who are here? Oh my goodness, the grandchildren. Sort of nice. Okay. We have to wait for everybody. That's a very mild tie, Mr. Hacker. Significant of July 4th. Explosive is the word. Okay. Are we all here? Oh, I know Councilman Creer, right. He has a funeral he's attending. We lost one of our wonderful community members, Jack Francie, and that's where he is, but he's coming over. Oh my, this is an emotional day for us all. But you look very handsome dressed. You didn't bring your coffee cup. I'm proud of you. No. Where's Mary? Okay, Mary's there. I know. No, don't you dare trip him, please, Councilwoman. Okay, for our first ceremonial item today, it's my great pleasure to recognize the public service of a great public servant, a unique woman in her own right, and an outstanding star of our community. Mayor Pro Tem, if you don't stop talking to Stavros, I'll kill you. Bob! God, here we're beginning to talk about you. We're not, no, I'm going to send her over to you when it's your turn to distract you. Okay, I won't say it again, but anyway, there aren't enough words. Come on up here. Okay. To describe this woman's commitment to this community and the greater goods of its citizens. First, as an educator and a member of the Clark County Board of School Trustees for 12 years. Boy, oh boy, long time. Dr. Tarkanian has been a force for education in our community, obviously, so significantly for years. She founded the first private day school for deaf students in California and initiated Nevada's first full inclusionary program for deaf children. In 2005, she was elected in a special election to the Las Vegas City Council for a 2-year term and was reelected in 2007, 2011, 2015 for 3 consecutive 4-year terms, I think making you the longest serving council member.
Recently, anyway.
Well, recently in this lifetime of ours, right. This woman lives a life of service, and our community is so much better off. She's been a protector of residents and neighborhoods and for sustained high-quality life in our city. She's led the way in regulating short-term rentals and ensuring that those who operate party houses face strong consequences. Mayor Pro Tem Tarkanian has been a wonderful asset to our city council, always bringing a reasoned approach and examining all sides of issues before voting her conscience with an overriding passion for listening to her constituents. All of Nevada has loved her for her efforts and for being the mother of the UNLV Runnin' Rebels, coached by her fabulous husband, Jerry Tarkanian, all those years. There's no way to thank appropriately Councilwoman Tarkanian for all of her work on behalf of the people of Las Vegas. But we have a few tokens we want to present to you. First, and I believe we will be putting some pictures up on the monitors. Pictures will be up on the monitors. The city also has dedicated a tree to you, Councilwoman and Mayor Pro Tem, at Bob Baskin Park. Of course, she was instrumental in getting this historic Park recently refurbished, so what a fitting tribute and place to include a plaque at the park thanking you for your years of service. So are we showing pictures? There it is.
Yes,
It's a healthy tree,
looks very healthy.
and I know how you love trees.
I do.
So,
It's very appropriate.
right. Next, I want to present you with a special honor as another gift from the city. A City of Las Vegas flag. Thank you, Mr. Riggleman, for you noting your years of hard work here at the city. I mean, you just are into everything and anything. I know, what's this station you have just saved, actually, 103?
103.
103. I mean, that was looking for mothballs, but Councilwoman.
We had to take a few mothballs out to redo it, yes.
And so that's exciting. This is from all of the city employees, this flag, with whom you have worked over the years, and in constant pursuit of building a community to make life better for all. The Office of Communications, Mr. Riggleman and his staff have put together a special video tribute to you. So now let's see the video. We could pull the chair over here. There you are.
That you are a bona fide resident at your stated address, and that you will faithfully perform the duties of the office in which you are about to enter, so help you God.
Words could not express really well how I feel today. I feel extremely honored to be with this group up here as part of the City Council. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
That's the briefest you've
Today's
ever been.
program, we're discussing issues in Ward 1 with Councilwoman Lois Tarkanian. Welcome back to Access City Council.
Thank you very
It's your
much.
second show already.
Councilwoman Lois Tarkanian said she is relieved to see the race over so that she can get back to working for the residents of Ward 1.
You know, we had a hard campaign. I don't think that's news to anybody. And I just want to thank first my family, who are vehemently against my running for office again. But once I made the decision, they did what they usually do. They pull in the ranks with loyalty, showed me a lot of support.
We worked so hard to develop a tree arbor here within our city, and many people, you know, they think of the casinos, they think of the sand of the desert, but they don't think of a city that's working very hard with plants that are meant for the desert to get a canopy, to get a tree canopy.
The April 20, 2011 meeting of the City Council is called to order.
And that you will faithfully perform the duties of the office in which you are about to enter, so help you God.
I really believe in public servants, not politicians, and as a public servant, what you want to do is what helps the people the most. To me, the most important thing is to empower the citizen. We've worked very hard in Ward 1. We're an older ward, and it was a deteriorating ward. It was on its way down, and we had to stop that and make it change direction, and I think we have.
Welcome back to the show, and
Yes,
congratulations.
I'm back.
That's right, and congratulations on your election victory.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy that it went as well as it did.
You won going away, so congratulations, and 4 more years.
We have been working over 3 years to set the groundwork for this medical district, and I'm very proud to say the city has been very much involved in getting this all ready.
Well, I think it's no surprise to everybody out there, if you commute at all through the Spaghetti Bowl each morning, you've probably heard a little bit about Project Neon. It's basically a revamp, a widening, an improvement of that whole interchange there, I-15, US 95. A lot of this is right in Ward 1. Congratulations to Councilwoman Lois Tarkanian and her appointment by Mayor of Las Vegas, Carolyn Goodman.
And I would motion to appoint Councilwoman Lois Tarkanian as Mayor Pro Tem.
We should be proud of our city. We've done a very good job, and I think everybody who works in the city should be very proud, because it's not just someone like I or the other council people. It's all the people who make up the city, and they're good people. Almost every single one of them have in their heart not just get the job done, but do it the best way, because I care about the people who live in the city. And that's extremely important, and that's what we have here.
Well done.
I'm so very happy. We have kept our promise to the community, and I treasure the wonderful relationship I've had with the fire department these many years. So welcome all. Have some tacos, have some games with the children, and welcome 103, you're back.
How can you encapsulate Lois Tarkanian without thinking of her whole family and history of Nevada? And then, of course, probably the longest serving, or one of the longest serving council persons, coming in and having 14 years of council work for Ward 1 under her belt. Of course, how can you think of Lois Tarkanian without thinking of our burgeoning new UNLV Medical School and her devotion to that? So she's Parks and Recreation too. She loves having her parks revitalized and creating new ones, and takes such great pride in the city of Las Vegas, which in turn has given her a great life. And knowing that she's stepping down from this, and unfortunately forced out because she's term limited, she'll do something else. This is a lady who you just can't have her sitting at home. So I do want to say, and I'm going to look right at you, Lois, if you're watching, and Mayor Pro Tem, my Mayor Pro Tem, and Councilwoman for 14 years. I'm going to miss you. Wow, that just touches a tiny bit. God bless you. Awesome. We have the video here. Well, you're going to get the whole microphone, and I'm going to sit down, listen, because everybody, this is an opportunity. I hope somebody's recording it. We are.
You are, yes. You know, the video shows my beginning, my first swearing-in ceremony, where I stated how honored I was to be elected to that position. And that feeling of honor has lasted over these 14 years I've served on the council. Honored to be consistently elected by large margin by the people I represent. Honored to have been part of the team that accomplished so much to make our city a shining light and a national award winner in numerous areas. And honored to have been involved with so many hardworking, dedicated employees here in the city, who I said on the video and I say again, it's not the paycheck that's the main thing to most of these people. It's because they love this city and they take the extra step to do a great job. And I could tell you all the departments that I've worked with that have done that. I feel very honored to have been able to work with them. I've learned a lot. And the older you get, you find out the more you can learn. So they've helped me. And these have been exciting years on the council. I'm proud of our accomplishments as a whole and my part in them. But I also realize it takes a team to achieve, and in my case, I particularly wanted to point out the people who have worked in the Ward 1 office during these past 14 years and thank them very personally and get their names out there so people know it's not just the council person whose name you see, it's the people who help them. So I thank Ann Caponen, Zuri Gomez, Robin Munet, Adriana Martinez, Jeannie Moss, who was with us when we started, and particularly Kim Reed. She's kept me going, and she's kept a tight rein on all of us because she watches all parts of our work, including the gigantic medical district project we're in right now, which someday will bring $10 million of money to this city, and someday will offer cutting-edge medical services for adults, for children, for unusual diseases. That's what that's all about, to serve all of Southern Nevada. And she also worked on the small details too. You know, sometimes at Christmas you get gifts from people, and I got a gift of a pen. Now, I'm not a big pen fan, so I didn't know much about pens. I said, gee, this is a nice looking pen. And I showed it to Kim, and she said, you have to take it back. You have to turn it back, because the pen was, I guess, one of these really expensive $500, $600 pens. I didn't even know they made them that expensive. But anyway, she watched even the tiny details. And I want you to notice that even though we had had some scandals in Ward 1 previously, we didn't have one tiny bit of a scandal. And that has because Kim watches over us and because I've had great people working for me. By watching all parts of our work, she really was a big help, and a big help in every single thing I did. When I first started in the Ward 1, the residents told me, you know, the city doesn't help us at all. Doesn't help us at all. We have all these problems and they never help us. I tried to figure out why. And then I asked them, do you go to the city to use their resources? And they said, well, no, we didn't know. What do we do? What do we do? And that's first started our neighborhood associations. And we are very proud in Ward 1 that we started so many from almost no associations, and they are very active. If you look at the figures that show you the ward that calls in the most about things that are needed, it's Ward 1. And that's not because we have all that many more problems than others. It's because our people are alert to the fact you can get these things taken care of by the city by calling in and using their resources. And I also told the citizens that, you know, and this has been sort of our theme, we have a little red puzzle piece that we give out to members of our group. And I said to them, it isn't the businesses that can make it happen. It isn't just the citizens. It's not the council. It's not the state. What makes it happen is all of us putting our pieces together, because each of us has something to offer. In some ways stronger than others, but each of us offers. And in offering, we fit together to a very strong piece of the puzzle, and that's how we get things done. And that's what we've been able to do to a great extent within Ward 1. And I also wanted to say, you saw all the things that happened. I was very happy, for example, when we opened Garside Pool, we were able to let our hair down, and we were able to wear dinosaur bones in our hair, dinosaur bone earrings, all that kind of tusk necklaces. It was a fun time. But even though we had fun, we emphasized education for children, and we have along the side of the walkway that goes into the building, we have pictures of dinosaurs of different ages. And if you have a sight problem, you can feel it, and that we thought would help children who are in need that way. And before I'm through, I'm going to get one of those big dinosaurs and donate it over there so they'll see how big they were. And that's what I hope to do someday soon. I wanted to thank my family who's here today. I'm trying not to cry. I want to thank my family that's here today. I'd like to have them stand as I call your name. If you would, they won't like this, but I want you to see what a beautiful family they are. First of all, I have Ava Tarkanian, who's helps me. Thank you, Ava. And I have Ashley Tarkanian. And I have what we call Little Lois Tarkanian. And hiding me from the front seat, I see you hiding, is Jerry Tarkanian. Yeah. And my son Danny and his wife Amy. And I have my daughter Pam, who obviously wanted to join me because after so many years in the Clark County School District, she's retiring at the same time I am. Yeah. And I'm very proud of what she has accomplished and the accolades that the people in the district, particularly in special education, have given to her. And I have my daughter, Jody Tarkanian, yeah, who makes sure I do things the right way. And then I have someone from Mayor Goodman's school, started out there educationally, went on with a full scholarship at Northwestern. I have, who came just last night from Israel, Danielle Diamant. Yeah. So I thank them very much, and I think all of you have helped. You know, I tell the people on my staff, people will forget soon that what we did to beautify. For example, who knows who got all of the medians with flowers and the metal sculptures and things like that? Ward 1 worked with Marty in Public Works, and we were able to put together some of those beautiful designs. She designs beautifully. So thus we were able to put something beautiful in those medians and in some of those corners that didn't look so hot. We were able to put something of beauty and help as far as our ward looked. And it went so well that all the other wards have used it, so it's all over the city now. And I want to thank Public Works and everybody, all of the departments, for all the help that you've given me. I know I couldn't have achieved it without it, and every time I go by, even if it's 3 little flowers from Public Works, I'll say, we were part of getting that there, or we were part of cleaning that up. I've told my staff, people won't remember in the coming years, but we know that. But we also know that every time we go by, the beautiful Garside Pool that we have, the hustling medical district that's emerging and will go really, really far. Every time we hear of that or do that, we'll know we were part of it. And all of you who helped us in Ward 1, you know you were part of it too. You know, memories are the gold of kings, they say. If you have them, you have all you need. They're certainly among the treasures of life. And some of them are reminders that each of us can do and make a difference. And I thank all of you for making a difference and for helping me make a difference. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yes. Every committee that you sit on, I've watched, and everybody adores you and stands in admiration and gratitude for everything you've done, minute by minute.
Mayor, I'm trying hard not to cry.
We-
You know, I think you know the time when you should move on. And this is the time for me to move on and have new people come in and do new things. But also, you know, you loved what you did, you loved the people you worked with, so you're sort of torn, bitter, and sweet.
Well, I can assure you, you are not quitting. Quitting and being just sitting at home and retired is very boring.
Is that
It is
right?
boring. So what are you going to run for? Look at all the support you have already. We wish you the best. Thank you. Thank you all. Okay. Don't think for one moment that the accolades and applause for Mayor Pro Tem have stopped. They go on, I tell you, every day, and we have more planned. We would do more this morning were we not in a council with a heavy agenda. So we do move on, and our next item, we're recognizing another outgoing council member with a long history of public service as well. Just as Mayor Pro Tem Lois Tarkanian, Dr. Lois Tarkanian, we have this wonderful, hysterical man. Oh my God. I'm nervous to bring him up here to the microphone. Trust me, history, oh my gosh. Okay, so Councilman Coffin has been a servant of the people of this city and state for years and years, as you know. He was first elected to the Nevada Assembly in 1982 and served 2 terms there. He continued his service in the Nevada State Senate, where he served until 2011. He was a member of the State Finance Committee and chaired the Taxation Committee, where he worked to balance budgets and ensure fiscal responsibility. A resident of Ward 3 for more than 60 years, which you will hear every time he gets the microphone. Every time, not just some of the time, but every time. It only made sense for Councilman Coffin to continue serving the community in 2011, where he sought and won election to the City Council. Another thing that we all know and we hear again and again, which is a great ambassador's role, a Bishop Gorman graduate, and a state, which I love, state golf champion. Councilman Coffin has always been one of the most community-minded individuals we have in our whole state. On the City Council, he's worked diligently on the processes for licensing of legalized marijuana sales. He's also been a strong supporter of City Courtyard Homeless Resource Center, working to break the cycle of homelessness in our city. Councilman Coffin often shoots from the hip and tells it as he sees it. And for those of you who don't sit behind the dais, I can assure you they are from the hip all the time. And whoever sits on either side of him, and recently I have been, it is a challenge to keep a straight face. On occasion, he takes the breath out of my lungs and creates immediate frenzy. But be assured, a strong advocate, Councilman Coffin never backs away from a tough issue or challenge and has been known to revisit them ad nausea, while we still admire, appreciate, and love him throughout. We have a few tokens. Come on up front here, please. I should have called you right from the beginning. Come forward. Thank you, dear man. We want to present you an appreciation for everything you have done for the city. First, and I believe we'll be putting some photos up on the monitors. I'm not sure what youth. Isn't that Councilwoman Street? Oh, oh, please. Okay, the city has dedicated a tree to councilmen at the Huntridge Circle Park, which of course, as you know, is it's being all fixed up again, and it's going to be sensational. The councilman has been focused on keeping this park open for residents while at the same time making sure it is safe and that our homeless population has other options where they can be connected and have their needs serviced. This tree will be marked by a plaque at the park thanking you for your years of service. And now we want to present you with a special gift from the city, a flag from the city. So you will have a beautiful flag from everyone with whom you've worked, and we're just so thrilled to be able to give this to you. And we have a special video tribute that the city communication office has put together. So now you get a good look at this fine public servant. Are you nervous? Okay. We got work to do.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this edition of Access City Council. I'm David Riggleman, Communications Director for the City of Las Vegas. On this show, we're going to introduce you to the newest member of the City Council. Ward 3 City Councilman Bob Coffin is with us. Welcome to your first Access City Council show. Good to have you on.
David, it's great to be here. Thank you.
Allegiance and loyalty to the same. And I, Bob Coffin, do solemnly swear that I will support, protect, and defend.
What will I miss? The collegiality of working with like-minded people who agree or disagree. And I get a lot of joy out of disagreeing with people because it's like those are people who see things different, and I don't see it their way, so I have to figure out why as I'm trying to persuade them to see it my way. So there's a lot of give and take. First of all, I'm here to get a check, which I think is the first important thing. We've got the Grinch who's going to try to steal Christmas. I'm proud to be your councilman, and I know that we can work together to meet any challenges that Ward 3 and the city of Las Vegas face. You see before you a new city. Hey, it's okay! And that's progress and prosperity, and it's all the things that we want. Well, ribbon cutting, of course, is mother's milk of this kind of stuff. That's a sign of growth. It's a good thing, cutting a ribbon. So I don't mind it. I love it. The kids, they like to see adults play with them. I don't care what you're doing, you know. And I was a kid here growing up from the age of 9. Finding land, any kind of land, any shape of land, any size for a park has been a crusade we've been on, which I think we've been pretty successful at. Hello! Hey! You get that?
You know, he and I are sort of like peas in a pod because we came in together. Both of us came in right in the depths of the recession into things that were so troublesome and so difficult. And fortunately for Bob Coffin, he represents the downtown area, and to go to all these ribbon cuttings and the excitement of what's been going on the Couplet and on Main Street in the Arts District. It's been so exciting, and you just feel the glow he has. He's just done such a wonderful job.
There's some boots that'll last forever in there. Okay. Hello, I'm Bob Coffin. Hello to you. Bless you. It's not a cat house, no red light. No. volunteers picked an oak because it's the tree of life. How I know is with Mary being retired, I got to find things to do that are not in the house. I've already irritated her way too much because she's constantly doing something. I'd rather be lazy and relax, maybe stay in bed all day, but I can't, I won't. So I got to find things to do. But we're going to need your help to support these businesses during this long transition. Thank you, an honor. What an honor it's been. Order! I got the thing down here. Shut him open!
I do really believe, because he's done so much service in the state, as you well know, he has so much more to give, and I think he's going to be extremely bored because he's been in the public service area for so many years. But Bob, you know, I have a couple of things I have to share with you. First of all, you know, one of the things that I really look to you for is this wonderful thing you've brought to our community, you and Tick Cigerblow, this pot. I know you enjoy your use of it, and you've been promoting it forever and ever. So, you know, I know what we can do with it, and hopefully the money will go where it's supposed to go, to education, which it's not going to, and so you better renew your friendship with the governor and the legislature to get them to give us the money for our kids. But additionally to that, Bob, you know, you have been the king of pot in my own estimation. There's another thing. Those of us of the distaff side, the women on this floor, or perhaps the women in Southern Nevada, you have lovely Mary at home, the most brilliant, wonderful woman. But what are you doing all the time? I'm going to give you this. Just so you have your own little girl at home that you can look at all the time and think, I'm going to hit on her. I've warned you. I've sent legal after you. Stay out of trouble. Bob, you know, before I turn the microphone over to this wonderful, caring, good man, what we failed to put in here or mention is he and Louise Helton, but when he was in the assembly, he created the license plate, the Las Vegas Centennial license plate, from which we get money, the city gets money through the Centennial Commission to preserve historic buildings in Southern Nevada, in the core of our city. And it's been millions of dollars that we've received from our caring public who buys that license plate, and it's because of you. And so another wonderful thing, you've done so much. I mean, we can't cover it here. So I'm scared to give him the microphone, but prepare, everybody. I hope you have your popcorn.
As a short man, thank you very much, David. Well, short guys, you know, always have to compensate in some way or another. You could see that in the videos. There's no doubt about it. Attention-seeking behavior comes with me, and I can't help it. At 76 years old, I'm not about to change. I think that you saw the video and some of the fun times. Jumping in the pool with the kids when they don't expect it, and they never understand why I'm doing it, but they just get along with it and they enjoy it. Those are the kind of things you can do if you want to be part of the people. And as the mayor said, I've lived here almost 70 years, and so growing up here, I know what it's like to live downtown and always have. And so the kids are the most important asset we have. They're the ones who we, through Dr. Tarkanian's efforts, have improved their education. And I should say, you probably have an honorary doctorate, Mayor, but on the exclusive side of really high value, high challenge education, the mayor has led the way with her academy. And she still takes a lot of time for that. So yeah, I could thank a lot of people who I've served with. I certainly want to recognize the fact that Betsy Fretwell, our former city manager, is here. And I'll have you stand in a minute, Betsy, but also our current city manager, who is hiding behind the cop. All right. I mean, this guy is important to have. I guess we have family and friends here, and I want to introduce them. First of all, family are here, and as the aforementioned Mary is here, I'd like family to stand together at the same time. Mary, please stand. My wife, Mary Hausch. Now hold your applause until the end. But really, Mary deserves her own applause, and stay standing, Mary. My son, James, and my daughter, Anna, and James's life partner, Tana Dubé, recently featured in the New York Times as a famous movie grip. And of course, I don't want to call you a boyfriend, buddy, but Andrew Koenig is my daughter's buddy. And I think that if you can take Anna's company, you can take anything in life. We have a memory of Walter, who left us 2 years ago, and we didn't bring anything about Walt except to say that we remember him fondly, as do many of you. And my gosh, a campaign team is here too. Ference and Sullivan, sounding like a Broadway writing play team, and they really are that good. Jim and Mike, please stand up, because they've been with me since 1990. Jim Ference and Mike Sullivan. And that is a team that cannot be beat. My old friend, golfing buddy, which changed a few years ago when I had another car accident and a drunk broke my back. And so I used to play golf, but Chet Perko's here, a paratrooper guy, stand up, Chet, an Ohio boy, and he's here on a good day because it's the Nation of Patriots tour. And Chet Perko is a patriot, without question. Of course, we have other folks here. Mike Pearson, my brother-in-law, Del Bean, one of Mary's best friends, is here. Who else is here? Trinity Schlotman, my planning commissioner. I wonder if she'll keep you, Trinity. I wonder. We'll find out. If you want a good word, it'll either hurt you or help you. Hard to tell these days. Jim Bilbray. Jim Bilbray. Everybody knows who Jim Bilbray is. Senator, member of Congress, member of the Board of Regents. Mel Close is here. Stand up, Mel, former senator also, and Assemblyman, Speaker of the House. And so many years of dedication from Mel Close. And his spouse, my good friend, Kathleen. Kathleen Close, please stand up. Now, when I grew up, and this is in the late 50s, early 60s, guess who my favorite car hop was at the Blue Onion? One lady. Yes, she doesn't look it. But she was there then as a car hop, Kathy Horden, and with a big family here in town. But more importantly, you're still here, and I'm still here, and so, you know, I'll have a fries and a Coke, please. Yeah, and don't forget the air conditioner to put in my car. Which you'll be happy to know, the Blue Angel, which was next door, is coming back. The Angel is being restored to the streets, and we're going to put her out there on a nice pedestal at the 5 Points. So real close to the old Blue Angel Motel, which is going away, gone. So thanks, everybody. Sit down. Come on. I'm sorry I got you up in the limelight, but thank you. This is all Mary's work. Mary's been my partner for all the years I've been in office. What most of you don't know, and it was left out of that little agenda, is that I ran for office in 1972. I was 29 years old and thought I knew everything about politics. I had a lot of friends growing up here. Not a lot of money, but I had friends. And you know, I lost that election by 22 votes and the Democratic primary. And then I thought, in the years gone by, I really appreciated the benefit of losing and learning from loss, which I encourage all to do. Just as Melissa Clary lost to Olivia Diaz in the replacement race for my seat in Ward 3, losers can always learn, and losers will come back. And Danny Tarkanian, who has been here and lost a few times, he's got so much spirit. Where did he go? He left? All right, there's a guy that won't quit. And I think that's the main thing. So I learned a lot in losing. Spent 10 years managing campaigns, and then 82 came up, and you know the story. I think that I have learned a lot here, and I've learned more than I thought I would, because in the 28 years in the legislature, I thought I knew it all, but I didn't. And I learned here how local government works and how it is so critical to the daily needs and problems of everybody. It's so far removed from the legislature. And of course, that we haven't been treated too badly by the legislature in the last 7 or 8 years until this last legislative session, when we were not given the authority to raise the money to take care of the homeless problem. So those kinds of things break my heart, because here I am, a local government, trying to do the best I can for all of you and all of those elected officials. And they forget that we're the ones that fix the problems for them. They don't fix them because they're gone, making general law. Here in this office, you make an enemy every time you cast a vote, maybe 100. You do, and you make a friend, maybe, but no permanent friends and no permanent enemies in this world, in the political life. Remember that, because that is how life should be. We have to regroup and coalesce, and we have to work together with people of like mind. And yeah, maybe we disagree, and maybe we don't work together on an issue or something like that. But we get it together and we get back together. And I learned that behavior in the legislature, courtesy of my seniors, Bill Bray and Close. And when we have lunch, it's the old Senators Club that goes out. But we're really talking about today's life. And the thing is it's not good right now in terms of the national scene, but we're trying to do our best to try to keep people together from killing each other as this thing approaches an election again. And the thing is to remember, no permanent friends, no permanent enemies. If you can do this, and in daily life as well as in politics, you have a darn good chance of surviving this world. So I guess I should thank you, Mayor. First I will say thanks to Susan Finucane, my longtime aide since the day I came in, and Idolina. Wave your hand, Ido. You know, I know you don't want to stand. And of course, there are others, Maria Norero, Rob Levrant, others who worked in that Ward 3 office. And it's important to know that they're doing all the work. You know, we get the headlines and we get the gritties. We get to grin and smile. But darn it, they do the work. And I hope that the new member of the council will keep them, because they are professionals, every person that was hired for our office. We're missing Felipe Ortiz here today. But the thing is, they're all hired by HR, Human Resources, vetted for professionalism. They were not political hacks. They were not people brought in because I owe them a favor or they did a whole bunch of work for me. No. They're real professionals. And that's the whole 7th floor and the whole roster of all city members. 2,000, 3,000, I've lost track. I just don't know how many there are. But the point is, they're all giving of their time. And they're not bureaucrats. I like to people think, bureaucrats are pencil pushers. We don't have those here. We have people that fix things, work things, care for things, mow lawns, fix trees, pave roads. They do all of this. They're not bureaucrats, they're not pencil pushers. And if you ever hear someone say, oh, he's another government employee, just another damn bureaucrat, set them straight. Let's ask them, how is your street? And if it's not fixed, who do you think is going to fix it? You know, it's going to be done in a process. So again, thank you for this opportunity of a lifetime, 8 years serving with you, Mayor. It has been fun. And yeah, you tolerate my quirks, and I enjoy it because we're having a lot of fun. We do. She calls me out late. And I say, well, I'm sorry, Mom, I made it late. I always say everybody has to have a Jewish mother, because that's for sure you're going to get taken away. And one more person who's here, Bob Piccoli, who has been in here for so many years and has the whole Piccoli family owned all of Las Vegas, I think, at one time or another, and gradually you've sold it off and live off the land. So I know I'm missing some friends. I'm sorry if I do. But thank you again for this honor. It truly is one for me.
Thank you. Thank you, Councilman Coffin. Your audience is applauding you.
My heart to you.
He does have the most beautiful heart, kind and good man. A royal pain sometimes, but truly one of the most blessed hearts. You are just a beautiful man, and we are so lucky to have had you these 8 years. And I'm sorry you're quitting, because I'm going on, and you should have kept going. But anyway, you've had a great staff, and I look at Trinity, who's done such a great job on planning, which is an arm, such an important arm of City Council, our planning that really thoroughly vets every issue that comes forward. So at this point, it's just we're going to miss these wonderful 2 people, but we know we will be calling them all the time for input, advice, historical memory, and everything. But watch their stars. They're not quitting. So for our next item, Councilwoman, you're back up. Mayor Pro Tem, you've got something going else. We will go to the next one. Should we send somebody for your paper? Kim, do we know where the paper is? She left her announcement piece up, I think, there at the desk. Here? Yes, okay. Now, Councilman Anthony, I think you have something special.
I do, Mayor. Thank you. Well, good morning, everyone. It is my honor to recognize a great organization that provides support to the families of wounded men and women in the military in the defense of our United States and our citizens. That organization is the Nation of Patriots, and I'd like to invite the West Regional Commander, Chuck Lennon, to join me down here at the podium. Chuck, where are you? There he is. Give him a nice round of applause, the Nation of Patriots. Every year, the Nation of Patriots organizes a national effort to pay tribute and raise funds for wounded military personnel in America's armed forces. This united effort is known as the Patriot Tour. This year is the 10th anniversary of the Patriot Tour. The tour traditionally begins during Memorial Day weekend. A group of riders escorts one American flag on the back of a motorcycle, beginning in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, and transferring the flag across the United States. The flag is escorted state by state for 110 days and 14,500 miles as it makes its way through 48 states until it comes full circle back to Wisconsin on Labor Day. On Tuesday, July 2nd, our local Nation of Patriots chapter riders will meet the group from Lancaster, California, bringing the flag to Nevada. There's an exchange ceremony at the Las Vegas Harley-Davidson. On Friday, July 5th, the Nevada group will leave for Laughlin, Nevada, and Kingman, Arizona, where the flag will continue its journey. At each of the approximately 100 stops throughout the nation, a short ceremony takes place where the flag is turned over from one escort to the next. Each of the locations along the route conduct fundraisers to contribute to a fund where at the conclusion of the Patriot Tour, the total money collected is given to wounded military personnel and their families to assist them with their financial needs. The Nation of Patriots Tour takes pride in the fact that 100% of the money collected goes to these military personnel. Last year, the Nation of Patriots Tour nationally raised $240,000. Las Vegas raised $41,000 on its own towards that $240,000. Is that absolutely awesome? This year, the Nation of Patriots local chapter hopes to raise $50,000, and I'm hoping you're going to explain how you can get these folks to help you raise that money. At this point, I would like to ask the Nation of Patriots to please stand and be recognized. This is our local chapter. These are the men and women that are going to protect that flag when it's here in Las Vegas, and they're the ones that are going to raise money for these wounded military personnel. Some of you may have seen them ride in this morning. I want to thank Las Vegas Fire and Rescue for having a great entrance for them, and I want to thank you all for coming down here. You're volunteering your time to make sure that these wounded warriors are taken care of, and I want to thank you for doing that. At this point, go ahead and have a seat, and I'd like to ask Chuck to say a couple words and tell us a little bit more about the Nation of Patriots.
Thank you, Councilman Anthony. Thank you all for coming, especially my group. This is a small group of Patriot Tour members that will be escorting the flag when it arrives on July 2nd. I do want to point out a couple of unique members. Charlie, stand for a moment. He's our flag bearer this year. He'll be receiving the flag from the Lancaster group and be manning the flag while it's here for the 3 days. Thank you, Charlie. Before it moves on to Arizona, where through a formal ceremony we'll exchange the flag with a flag bearer in Arizona. The other person I want to recognize is a unique member of our group. Dale, would you stand for a moment, please? Dale is a Silver Star, Bronze Star, and Purple Heart recipient from the Vietnam era. Thank you for your service. Greatly appreciated, Dale. That's what we raise the money for, is to support military families that have been injured in combat and are in need of assistance beyond what the military, the VA can provide. So we raise money. 100% of the money raised in Nevada will stay here in Nevada, At each one of the stops, the money stays where it's where the stop money is raised. The flag presently is in Northern California. It is heading this way. We'll be here on July 2nd. One of the neat things about the Nation of Patriots is it's a 100% volunteer organization. From the CEO on down, including myself and all of my team, are volunteers. So therefore, we don't have any money that we take for the efforts that we do. So it's strictly a volunteer organization, and we appreciate everybody volunteering. We have thousands of people across the United States raising funds for the injured military families. If you would like to donate, you can do that by going to nationofpatriots.com or .org. It's a website, and there you can donate. The only thing you need to do is identify in the comment section that it is for Nevada, so that the money gets earmarked for the Nevada effort. Or you can see me. I have some business cards, or any one of my members, and we can provide you with my contact information so that you can reach out to me and donate. We take cash and check. Unfortunately, we don't take plastic. We don't do credit cards. It is strictly check or cash made out to the Nation of Patriots. So again, thank you all for listening, and we are having a good time. Like I said, this is the start of a couple weeks worth of effort for us, even though we will have fundraisers throughout the year. We have a walking poker run in July. We have a riding poker run in September, and we hope to have a bowling tournament in August. We're still trying to arrange that. So we are working our way through fundraising. We fundraise it all year long. It's just that the flag comes through during the coolest part of the year for us, but you have to remember it starts in Wisconsin, and they just got their motorcycles out about 2 weeks ago. So because it's wintertime there, and they don't ride like we do year-round. So we have the luxury down here to ride year-round. And so what if it's 110 degrees? As long as your knees are in the breeze, it's a great time. So back to you, Anthony.
Thank you, Chuck. And there's a couple of baseball hats over there, so if you want to drop 10 or 20 bucks in a hat, be glad to do it on the way out. Please do. With that, I have a proclamation here with a bunch of whereases, which I will not read, but it basically says at the end that we're going to proclaim July 17th Nation of Patriots Day in the state of Nevada and the city of Las Vegas. So there you go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And with your indulgence, Mayor, can I just have the chapter come down here to take a picture with the city council?
Come on, guys.
Come on. Come on down here.
We got to indulge for a couple minutes.
Sure, absolutely.
Take the mic, Council.
Congratulations on an extra year.
Thank you. I'm lucky on this. Thank you for your service.
That's good for him.
Yeah, I'd like to get it there.
Squeeze in, guys. Thank you again. How you doing? Absolutely. Awesome. Thank you.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Remember when you were nobody when I came here in 1950? You and Jerry. One of the pool. Yeah.
So let's get in close. Closer. Closer, closer. The important one's the pink one. Yes. Real professional. Thank you. Thank you again. Thank you for your service, and thank you for this. And thank you, Fire and Rescue. Awesome. Yeah. That flag, magnificent. Thank you, Fire and Rescue. And thank each of you for your service and for participating in this national recognition. Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, for our next item, Mayor Pro Tem, you're front and center. I think this is getting closer and closer to the audience.
I think it
The
is too.
podium's moving.
Gonna go right over Chance.
Today we're going to discuss something very important. After serving many years on the Regional Flood Control District Board, I wanted us to be able to discuss the dangers of flash floods. And to help me do so, I'm inviting up the General Manager of the Regional Flood Control District, Mr. Steve Parrish. Steve is with us now. I want you to know that he probably will not mention, but I will, that on the many years I've served on the RTC, I know that sometimes the regional flood control gets lost with all the big stuff there, but we should be aware of the numerous awards that you have won for your department in every way, financial, effectiveness. We're very, very proud of what you do, Steve, and I'm going to turn the mic over to you and let you explain it to the audience.
Thank you very much. Do you have a clicker?
The clicker? Mr. Riedelman, the clicker for...
There it is. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Tarkanian and Council, for allowing me a few minutes to speak today. We are approaching our flash flood season. July, August, and September are the months we worry about the most in terms of flooding. This year is a little bit special. I'm going to ask you to stand a little bit longer, sorry. This is the 20-year anniversary of the 100-year flood we had in 1999. And so we put together just a few slides to talk about that flood, what happened on that day, remind people of the dangers of flooding, that it has happened and can happen again, and what we've done since 1999 to try to improve the resiliency to flooding in Las Vegas. So as I mentioned, on July 8th, 1999, we had a 100-year flood event here in Las Vegas. There was a lot of damage to hundreds of residential structures and commercial structures were damaged in this storm event. There were unfortunately 2 flood-related fatalities as a result of the flood. Over $20 million in damages occurred because of the storm event that day, which prompted President Clinton to declare our area a federal disaster area. This is, it's hard to see, but it's a snapshot of our rain gauge network that we have here in Las Vegas. This was taken at 2:04 p.m. on July 8th, 1999. I'll highlight some of the rainfall amounts. Up at the Red Rock Detention Basin, which is the basin you see driving up West Charleston on your way to Red Rock Canyon, 2.6 inches of rainfall was recorded at that gauge during this storm event. Just south of that on the Blue Diamond Ridge, over 3 inches of rain was recorded. And then the highest rainfall total was at Duck Creek at Paradise, which is right around Windmill and where it crosses Paradise. 3.23 inches of rain fell. And keep in mind that this rainfall happened in like a 60 to 90 minute time frame. So very intense, lots of rain falling in a short amount of time. And also keep in mind that our annual rainfall total is 4.19 inches. So we got almost 3/4 of our rainfall total in one day that we usually get over the course of a year. So all that rain had to go somewhere, and we did have existing facilities in place. We had some channels done. We had some detention basins done in 1999. They did their job. They captured the rainfall. They captured the runoff. They held it and conveyed it through the city, those facilities that were done. At the lower right corner of the screen, the Gallon South Detention Basin is near Cheyenne and Buffalo, and that was built by the city of Las Vegas. That basin held 22 feet of water. It came within 18 inches of spilling over the spillway during the storm event. So it essentially was at capacity. So what's been done since 1999? Well, we've done a lot of channels. We've done a lot of bridges. These photos were taken at the Miracle Mile Mobile Home Park, which suffered a lot of damage. Flamingo wash flows through that mobile home park, and it undermined some of the trailers there, and they were unfortunately swept into the channel. Since then, that channel has been improved along with bridge work and detention base work all throughout Clark County. And this slide shows what was actually existing in 1999 as far as channels and detention basins were concerned. We had 250 miles of channels and storm drains in 1999 that had been built and 46 detention basins. But since then, shown in red is what's been built since. We've had another 400 miles of channels and storm drains, and another 54 detention basins have been built just over the last 20 years. So if that 100-year storm were to hit again today, I think we'd be in a lot better position to be able to convey that flow through the city, minimal damage, and I think we'd be a lot better off. So countywide, that 648 miles of channels and storm drains have been completed. Just here in unincorporated Las Vegas, incorporated Las Vegas, 182 miles of channels and storm drains have been completed. And we just hit the century mark on detention basins. We just completed a detention basin in Henderson, which was our 100th that's been built. 20 of those basins are right here in the city of Las Vegas as well. And you can see we've been building them as multi-use facilities as well, putting some park amenities in some of the detention basins. Since inception of the district, $1.8 billion has been spent on flood control in Clark County. $619 million of that $1.8 billion has been spent right here in incorporated Las Vegas, the city of Las Vegas, and that's your public works team that has spent those dollars and designed and built these flood control facilities. But there's more work left to be done. We still have about 200 miles of channels and storm drains and 36 detention basins left to build on our master plan. We anticipate another 30 years or so before we'll be complete with that implementation. I've talked a lot about channels and storm drains, which keeps floods away from people. Our other part of our mission is to keep people away from floods. We do that with our public outreach, proclamations, notifications such as this, recognitions of flash flood season. So we'll be ramping up our flash flood safety advertising campaign with billboards, TV spots, that type of thing, radio ads, to try to inform the public of the dangers of flooding this flash flood season, July, August, and September. Remember, don't drive through flooded areas, don't walk through flooded areas. These are not safe things to do, and try to be aware of your surroundings, and let's just be safe out there and have a nice, safe flash flood season. And I'd like to just thank Mayor Pro Tem Tarkanian. I know she's stepping down. She's been on our board of directors for the last 8 years. Under her leadership, 39 different contracts had been approved for design and construction of facilities. $218 million worth of facilities just in Las Vegas have been constructed under her leadership. And I also like to thank Councilman Coffin. He was actually serving on the state legislature when legislation was passed, 1985, when legislation was passed to allow for the creation of the flood control district. So got a lot of history here on the city council, and we appreciate all the efforts and leadership of everyone on the council. Thank you.
First term to have that emergency.
That's right, July 8th.
Second day.
And he, I think, was just named to our board as well. Yeah. Yep.
Thank you. You know, we have here a proclamation, which I'm not going to read word for word, but I just wanted to touch on a couple of key points. First of all, we don't realize usually how much and how great the effort is of your group in helping us. You saw the difference in the number of channels and floods and things like that. And secondly, we should remember that one half of all flood-related deaths are due to people trying to drive through a street when they shouldn't. And the flood committee has worked so hard to educate people as to that, and still people try to go through. So if you know of anybody, just talk up the word. It doesn't look as if it's just a small amount of water. You don't know if there might be something that was washed away and you're going to get sucked into it. When I see people fighting for their lives with all this flood water going by, and I know it was just because they wanted to save a couple of minutes, maybe to get home or something, I get sort of sick inside. I just think of, can't you understand, and this is what you always say, water always wins. It wins. And it's not going to pay any attention to you as a human being. So I just wanted to give to you this proclamation from the city of Las Vegas for how you've worked so hard to improve the protection of life and property for all our residents, for all our future residents, and all the detention basins, the channels, everything else that you've built. And as I mentioned already, critical to educate the public as to don't try and beat the water, because you're not going to beat it. And don't think flash floods only occur at certain months. They don't. They can occur at many different months. So I feel honored for the mayor and the members of the Las Vegas City Council to hereby take great pride in proclaiming the month of July 2019 as Flash Flood Awareness Day.
And I give this here to you. Thank you very much.
It really has been an accomplishment, Mr. Parrish, all the engineers that work, even our own city engineers that are part of the team to go ahead and help us be safe. And it is remarkable because I do remember that flood at that time. Caesar's Palace, entire parking lot, there were no additions to the facility to the west. To the north, ended up under the Imperial Palace in that drain. And so it's really scary, even if you're in an SUV and you think you're high enough up, or one of our bigger flatbeds, you think you're high enough up, you have no idea what's happened to the road under the water where big pits come out. So the work that you do, we're so grateful. And I know we're going to miss Councilwoman Mayor Pro Tem on flood because she has been just so engaged and it made all the meetings, and it's just wonderful. So
Hung on to that committee. I hung on. The last time I had to beg the mayor.
But you did a great job. Thanks, Mr. Parrish. Thank you. And so for our final item, I don't know if Councilman Creer has been able to make it. He had been excused, as I mentioned early on, because one of our wonderful community members, Jack Francie, had passed away, and the funeral was this morning. But today's a historic day, aside from everything that all of us know has been going on. June 19th is called, or known as, Juneteenth around the nation. This day is significant because it was on June 19th, 1865, that former slaves in Texas learned that the Civil War was over and that they were finally free. This important news came more than 2 months after the war had officially ended. Juneteenth has been marked since then in Texas, but over the years it's also become an observance around the nation, including right here in Nevada. And as I mentioned, Councilman Creer was here and hopeful of saying a few words, but it is the entire community is invited to the Juneteenth 19th Annual Las Vegas Festival today from noon to 10 p.m. at Kayanga Iasoki Policio Park at Doolittle Complex. And so that's from noon to 10 today. And we just welcome everybody to Doolittle. It's a great park and dedicated to this fine servant of the community, but Juneteenth is special. So just know we're celebrating that today. And at this point, we're going to allow a few minutes for our technological crew to change us over, and then we will begin City Council business right away. So thank you all, and we'll speak to you soon and take our